But then I'm like, what about all those 5-year-olds watching the show in Italy? Like, they don't know English. Hi, welcome back. A few weeks ago, I finished Alex & Co., which is an Italian Disney Channel show, and I have some thoughts about it, so I wanted to share them with you. My friend Caitlin and I actually watched this entire show over the span of, I'd say, maybe 3 days. We were very tired. There's 3 seasons of the show, and season 3 is the biggest, and it has like 20 episodes. The other 2 are much shorter, and each episode is only 20 minutes long. So it did not take us long to get through, but we binged it. Like, we did a season a day. Around this time last year, I binge watched Penny on Mars, which is like the sequel show to Alex & Co., which is a whole other thing in itself that I can get into in another video. I liked Penny on Mars, but it wasn't my favorite. So I was a little skeptical to watch Alex & Co. But I'm so glad I did. In case you forgot or you are unfamiliar with the show, Alex & Co. is a Disney Channel Italy show that aired all across Europe. It was extremely popular in the UK, which I believe is why they decided to make Penny on Mars in English and not in Italian. There's 3 seasons of the show, but season 3 could also be considered 2 seasons because there's 20 episodes, and right after episode 10, there is a stark difference. They even changed like the title sequence. I like to think of it as a show with 4 seasons, but season 3 is just like a super season. There was also a movie that aired in theaters, but it really doesn't correlate with the show at all from what I watched. We started the movie because we were trying to find the Penny on Mars special episodes that like connect the shows together, but we couldn't find them at first, so we were like, oh, let's watch the Alex & Co. movie. And then we stopped halfway through because A, we were falling asleep because it was like 3 a.m., and B, it was a bad movie. None of anything that happened really had to do with the plot, and they also gave Sam a new love interest, which I didn't like, so we said no, and I probably will not finish it. It doesn't sound good. But the fact that it did get a movie that aired in theaters, I guess says something about how good the show was. So Alex & Co. is a show about a group of 5 friends, Alex, Nicole, Emma, Christian, and Sam, who find this like abandoned music room in the basement of their school and try to form a band with the encouragement of their extremely hot English teacher, Professor Belly. And then of course there's music, and then they all end up like falling in love with each other, and it's so good. So good. So I really like the plot of the show, but looking back, I kind of wish that I had watched it in Italian and not with the English dub, because I feel like the English dub kind of made the plots seem a lot more childish and like comical than they were. Every once in a while we would switch the audio track back to Italian because we really wanted to hear their voices, and all of a sudden the plots seemed like much darker and way more serious than they did in English. I think that just has to do with the Italian audio track being more authentic because it's the language they speak. So in my opinion and in my experience, dubs kind of take away from that sometimes, especially like with Violetta. Look at Violetta, and like the English dub is literally a joke. And that's not discrediting dub like voice actors at all, because what they do is amazing, and I love that it makes shows a lot more accessible to everybody else. But as an adult trying to watch these shows and like having the ability to read subtitles, I think I'd much rather do that, just because I feel like I can keep the authenticity of the show a little bit more alive. But anyway, back to the plots. The plots themselves were like pretty unrealistic, like the whole thing with the talent and with everybody like coming together and forming a band and suddenly becoming superstars. Like, obviously not very realistic, but it's also international Disney and Disney in general, so like what can you expect? And like in my opinion, season 1 and season 2 really stuck true to that band plotline of like those 5 friends that sing, form a band, and like, you know, it really stuck true to that plotline. And then in season 3, once people started leaving, it suddenly didn't really feel like a show about a band anymore, and it was just like everybody had their own separate plots, and I don't know. Season 3 it wasn't good. They also tried to set everybody up with a new love interest with only 10 episodes left in the show, and it didn't work. It was way too quick. Let's move into some ships. Love to talk about a good ship. As for ships, I do think all of the ships were executed pretty decently, maybe with the exception of Alex and Nicole in the very beginning. I don't know. I say I really enjoy the fact that they put like the core 5, all their love interests were people, for most of them, within the band, which I like, but I also kind of wish maybe we could have gotten a few outside sources, which I know they ended up doing in season 3, but by then I was already so attached to like the ships from within the band that like I didn't care about any of them, you know? Like, fuck you, Matt. So Alex and Nicole. I do like Alex and Nicole way better than I like Alex and Cleo, but I do think that the confession that they had in season 1 came out of nowhere, and it came really fast. I think they like did it and they're like, oh no, like we can't have them get together yet, back it up. He deadass looked her in the face and said, I think I've fallen in love with you. And then the literal next episode was like, me and Nicole are never gonna work. And also that in the dub was just way funnier because it was just so upfront. We didn't watch the Italian version of that, so I'm curious to see if he really came across that forward, because he literally looks her in the face and goes, I've fallen in love with you. And she's just kind of sitting there like, okay, what are you talking about? They had some really good song moments in season 1, which I really liked. Like when they improv'd all the while on the stage, that was really cute. And I do like that they ended up together in the end. All was right in the world. Sorry. No, I do like Cleo. She's just like one of those characters, again, where I'm like, you're on the last season of a show. You don't even have that many episodes left. Why are you trying to introduce us to someone new and expect us to like get attached to her to where we want her to stay with the main character of the show and not the character that he had been with the entire time? Like, I don't really know what they were trying to do there, and I didn't really like it. The whole plot with the theater in general, I feel like they just needed to add more in because suddenly the show's not about a band anymore. So they needed 7,000 new things to distract us, and Cleo was one of them. And then Emma and Christian had so much buildup throughout 2 seasons. 2 seasons we had to wait for them to get together, and then they were barely together before he ended up leaving the show. We never even got to see the song that like he was supposedly writing about her like during season 1 and season 2. We never even got to see that. They never sang a song together. They were cute together for like the 5 episodes we got to see of them, but like then she left because they had that whole plot with Emma's voice being broken out of nowhere. And then apparently they had a really good plot in the movie, but like I said, we ended up not watching it because we quickly decided it was not canon and we hated it. But maybe I'll go through and watch some Emma and Christian scenes just to feel like I had enough of them. But none of that in the movie was even canon anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. Then at like the end of season 3, they decided they needed to put her with Ray, which is a big and total cop-out. They could have like had a good, like, strong, independent woman, I don't need no man moment for her, because I feel like she really could have benefited from that, but no. They had to put her with Ray, which is creepy because their parents were dating, so, like, don't like it. But Rebecca and Sam, they're my absolute favorite from the entire show. Love them. Maybe because I'm such a Julia Greeny fan. Also, really weird to hear her act and, like, speak in Italian when I'm so used to Spanish. I really love the whole tutoring plot. I'm, like, a sucker for that, like, smart guy, kind of dumb girl fall in love moment. They're so cute together. And the way like that it was kind of a secret, I really like the secret romance. I think that was cute. And I love how like she got to know his grandma and they like watched movies and stuff together. It's like their study dates turned into real dates, and oh, I love them so much. They're so cute. The whole like let me push up my glasses thing that he would do every time he looked at her was kind of annoying, but I do like how they brought that back towards the end of the season after he had gone through his like famous changed me moment, you know? I was scared that like that was going to be the reason they broke up, that like Sam changing too much was going to be too much for Rebecca, but no, I'm glad that they had solved that issue and he was like back to normal Sam before they broke up. And I like the way that he exited the show. I think that they did their breakup in a way that like I appreciated it, but I wish that they would have done long distance versus putting her with Matt, because fuck you, Matt. Likewise is also a bop. Like, that song is actually really good. Is it all completely broken English? Yes. But, like, what on that show isn't broken English? Alright, some songs from Alex & Co. I was shitting on these songs so hard, and I feel so bad for it because now I will sing along to any Alex & Co song that she put on. Like, I listened to a couple because my friend Bridget watched the show long before I did, and Caitlin watched the show long before I did. So I would hear, like, Welcome to Your Show. Hearing the Alex & Co songs out of context is so much worse. The songs really get so much better once you actually watch the show and can see the context they're coming from. Because, like, from an outside point of view, if you're just watching Welcome to Your Show or, Truth or Dare or something on YouTube, like, you're gonna be like, this song is complete garbage, it's all broken English, none of it makes sense. Which is true. It still is broken English, doesn't make sense, and arguably is garbage, but when you watch the show, it's like garbage with a heart. You know, it's garbage with a plot. And at first I was kind of confused about the logistics of all the songs being in English, just because it is a show based in Italy. But then I looked around at the school, and most of the signage and like even the whiteboards and the chalkboards in the classrooms were all written in English. So I'm assuming that the school that they went to is sort of an international school, like on Elite or something, where they all just learn and speak in English there. But I don't remember that ever being explained. But the show also did air like across the UK, so I'm assuming that they were maybe just trying to cater to that. But then I'm like, what about all those 5-year-olds watching the show in Italy? Like, they don't know English, so none of these songs make sense to them. Like, some of the English is just so off that I wonder how it even made the cut in the first place. Like, A, who wrote Truth or Dare? B, how do I yell at them? But then C, how do I also thank them for writing it? That first part where they're just talking, like the dialogue part, who wrote that and was like, yes, this is a perfect addition to a song? But the songs themselves, like, I will sit and listen to them and actually enjoy myself. My favorite one is Boys Girls Popcorn. Don't know if you knew that about me, but I'm a huge Boys Girls Popcorn stan. Definitely recommend adding it to your playlist on Spotify. All right, now I kind of just want to talk about season 3 because I feel like I need to rant about it more than I already have. I am a fan of season 3 up until episode 10. Up until episode 10, everything is fine and dandy. Yes, the band is still kind of on the outs, and they're still like, it's a new band now because the Lindas have joined them, but at least it's still got that feel of every cast member being there. And then after episode 10, everyone leaves, and it's sad, and I hate it. Because we lose Christian. Because, like, at least for Sam, when Sam left, we had a reason. Like, he had applied for a scholarship for a school, and he was going to go, and it was great. You know, it, like, made sense for his character. And we, like, got to have a goodbye for him. Then for Christian, he was there one second, gone the next, and all we hear is that his family up and moved to Australia. Maybe it was for soccer, but, like, what are you doing for soccer in Australia? But also, why is he even leaving in general? Because now Emma has to date her brother. He should never have left. He should never have left. Everyone I had talked to about the show before I started watching it said that they really liked Alex and Cleo, and I just don't understand how they got themselves so attached to them so quickly. Because I watched the whole show in 3 days, so I was very attached. And I did not want Nicole to leave. Nicole didn't even leave, really. She was still there, but they couldn't resolve them. They had to give him another thing to worry about on top of the 7,000 plots that they gave the show. Cleo literally showed up out of nowhere, and then 5 episodes later, they were together. Like, there wasn't enough development between them besides him, like, stalking her while she's out on her runs. And then Cleo literally had the audacity to look all upset and whiny when Alex and Nicole kissed in the last episode. Like, she hadn't just broken up with him literally minutes before, being like, you're still in love with her. It's okay. I'm not offended. Like, what? Why do you look so sad then? You told him to do it. You literally told him to do this. But anyway, that is my thoughts on Alex & Co. I was gonna combine this video with my Penny on Mars video, but my Alex & Co notes were way too long, and I decided I just needed a whole video to just rant about Alex & Co for a little bit. But if you would like to see my thoughts on Penny on Mars, let me know. I'm currently in the middle of a rewatch to kind of refresh my memories, so that will be coming shortly. As always, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter because I tweet lots and lots of things. But anyway, now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna go edit this video now. Bye! I'm looking at my notes that I made for this video, and I literally said, putting her with Ray was such a cop-out and also creepy since their parents were dating. Ew.